I warmly welcome our presenters. I know all the presenters are eagerly waiting to show their talents. First, I would like to call Anne Kanishika to talk on her topic.
Good evening to you all. Today I would like to present the poem "The Eagle" by Alfred Lord Tennyson. First of all, I would like to tell about the author who write this story, who write this poem, "The Eagle." Alfred Lord Tennyson lived during the Victorian era, during 80s. This era widely known for the Romanticism movement in literary culture. Tennyson was often referred as one of the main representatives of poetry during the Victorian era. During the Victorian era, due to his growing popularity, both during and after his time. Romanticism was a reaction to the Enlightenment, to the enlightenment, or notion that human action were guided by other forces. The movement as a whole emphasized feeling over thought, and was characterized by imagination and individualism and the freedom. Um, The techniques that are used in this poem, The Eagle, are personification, hyperbole, alliteration, simile, visual imagery, also onomatopoeia. In the personification, in this poem, personification is used for the he and han. Hyperbole, lonely lands close to the sun. Alliteration, crack and crooked claps. Simile, like a thunderbolt. Metaphor, wrinkled sea. And the themes that is in the poem, the eagle symbolizes the power. The poem shows the majesty and the power of nature. The eagle lifestyle suggests the action of a king or a director, and and these are the things that are shown by this poem. And when we analyze the poem, "The Eagle," he claps a crack with crooked hands. This is the first line in the first stanza. The poet tries to humanize the bird using the word he and hands. Even the verb claps has connection of warmth and friendship, as when we shake hands with others. Whenever here it refers to the refers to the tenacious grip of the bird, of the bird in his effort to balance himself on the rock. Um, which is exposed and unrelenting blast of wind. Crooked means ugly, deformed, and it creates an unpleasant picture in our mind. The harsh alteration of CR sound heighten that effect. And the second line, close to the sun in lonely lands. Suddenly, the close-up changes into a long shot, like in a film. Now we see the bird against the sky at a superior height. No one can touch that much height. It looks like the bird eagle is in near the poem, near the sun. The phrase "lonely land" seems to suggest the eagle domination of the sky. Um, Domination of the sky. And the third line, ringed with azure world, he stands. The word azure bird refers to the sky of the other color of ocean blue. The bird is circled or ringed by the blue sky. The passive action of stands, which rhymes with hands and lands, creates an effect of stillness and inertness. And fourth line, the wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. The waves of the sea looks like wrinkles of a cloth, or skin from that great height. The rolling of the wave is diminished to crawling. And second stanza, he watches from his mountain walls. It's not clear that he watches from that he was a sharp vision. He may be watching some prey, prey or something. The world also build up some tension as it's prepared to prepare him for action. The word mountain walls suggests the sharp incline of the rock and its inaccessibility. Like a thunderbolt, he falls. Um, in here, it's like a thunderbolt. He falls. Reflect the give us a effect in a movie, or it's called a climax. And finally, the eagle dies off and sweep downward in a straight line in graceful movement. It is an effortless action which depends on the gravitational acceleration. The thunderbolt suggests the speed with which thunderbolts strike and the sweetness of the eagle. When we consider the characteristics of the eagle are powerful, inaccessibility, majesty, authority, isolation, and swiftness are the characteristics of the eagle. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you for your marvelous presentation. Next, I would like to call Smeda to talk about Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry.
Good evening to you all. Today I'm going to present about the poem Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry. This conflict was written by A. Housman. Alfred Edward Housman was born on 26th March 1859 in England. A Shropshire Lad is a collection of 63 poems by the English poet Housman. The collection was published in 1896. Housman titled the book The Poems of Terence. The name of Terence appears as a character in his old poems. The Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry is also one of the poems included in the collection of Shropshire Lad. Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry is the title of this poem. From the title onward, we know that the speaker of this poem going to leave from his place. The diction farewell is pointed accurately because farewell is an act of parting or making someone's departure. From that, we know that the speaker of this poem going to leave from his own place. Before going to the poem, in this poem, the poem's rhyming pattern is A-B. Now we analyze about the first stanza of this poem. Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry, farewell to Shevenshaw. Terence, look your last at me, for I come home no more. According to the first stanza of this poem, the speaker live in a rural agricultural background. From that, he could be a farmer because barns, tech are the things where we used the things that we used in the agricultural land. On that word, he could be a farmer because he just farewell to the inanimate objects such like barns, tech, tree. On that way, he loves his job. That's why he gives more importance to the inanimate things compared to the intimate things. Farewell to Barnet's Tech Entry, farewell to Shevenshaw. The first two lines in this stanza, the diction farewell is repeated. In literature, we call that as a repetition, and also Barn stack reminds us the agricultural things. Barn is a large farm building which stores the protects of the farm protects, and the stack is pile of heap. And also in this poem, tree is a point. Tree reveals the natural alignments, and also Shevon Shore is the British largest river, and it is near to the countryside. From that we know that the speaker of this poem is living in the countryside, and in this farewell to Shevon Shore, in this line the sound literary device alliteration is used by the poet. Terence, look your last at me, for I come home no more. In this line, he requesting his friend to look his last to him, because he will never come to home no more. From that, we can confirm that he is going to leave from his place. And also, we have a doubt why he is going to leave from his own place, because without any reason, he didn't went from his own place. That's why we had a doubt on that. The sun burns on half Mount Hill. By now, the blood is dried, and Morris amongst the gay lies still. My knife is in his side. From this stanza, we can clear out our doubt, because there is a murder committed by the speaker, because the diction "my knife" reminds us that he is the murderer, because "my" is the possessive pronoun which shows the possessive to that knife. On that word, he's the murderer, and he committed to a murder. That's why he won't leave from his own place. The sun burns on half Mount Hill. By now, the blood is dried. On these two lines, that means the sun is going to burn. The sun is sun burns on half Mount Hill. By now, the blood is dried. The murderer blood is dried by the heat of the sun, because the heat of the sun make it dried. And Morris amongst the gay lies still, and my knife is in his side. That means the speaker murdered someone whose name is Morris, and his body is amongst the gay still, and also his knife is in his side. The equipment used to kill the Morris is near to Morris' body. On that way, the writer of this poem, the speaker of this poem, murdered Morris. In this stanza, we have two doubts that who is Morris and why he killed Morris. Why the speaker of this poem killed Morris. Now we analyze about the third stanza. My mother thinks as long away, 'tis time the field were mown. She had 2 sons at rising day. Tonight she'll be alone. In this stanza, we can clear that first doubt that who is Morris, because in this stanza, the poet reveals the relationship between Morris and the speaker, because he used that they could be brothers, because he used the diction my mother. He used the past my mother's thing as long away. She had 2 sons at rising day. That means she had 2 sons when the sun is rising up. But in the tonight she'll be alone. That means the mother will be alone, because one son is going from his own place, and one son is murdered by one son. All the mothers think that when her children go away, go out, she'll be think that the safety return of his child. But in this poem, the Mother had the suspense that she'll be alone. That means her two sons will never, his two sons won't come to her home no more. And also the now we analyze about the fourth stanza, and here's a bloody hand to shake, and oh man, here's a goodbye. Well, sweat no more on sink and rake, my bloody hand and I. Again, the speaker addresses his friend, that means Terence. He has guilty conscience for being a fratricide. He is worried that he has murdered someone, and he wished to goodbye for his friend. And before the murder, he doesn't think the future or the after the murder what will happen. After the murder, he'll worried about it. He never want to leave from his own place, but the present situation won't compel him to move from his own place. In this stanza, the diction bloody hands reminds the fact that means he just scolded his hands like a bloody hand, that means which murdered someone. He hated his hand because of the murder he committed. He feels very sad as he can work in the field no more with his friend using the agricultural implements like synth and rig. Synth and rig are the agricultural equipments to use to moving harvest. That means to cut the harvesting thing. Now we analyze about the fifth stanza. The speaker brings series of wishes to his friends. In stanza, the writer stopped the farewell and he wishing his friend to have a wishes to his friend. The first wish is, I wish your friend to bring you pride. That means he wished his friend to bring pride. That means you have to bring pride in your life. Like that, he just advising his friend that or wishing his friend. And also, and allow to keep you clean. That means he, in this line, the poet uses the literary device assonance. And also, in this line reminds us from he just wishing his friend keep a love you clean. That means the speaker of this poem affected by his love, and he just affected by his love. From that, he just wished his friend Terence to have a great love that keep you clean. That means the pure love. And I wish you luck come Lammaside, that the pure love will come to in the festival Lammaside. Lammaside is the harvesting festival of wheat. On that festival, the village people are get together. On that time, you will meet your partner. That means the lovable partner on that Lammaside festival. That means he just wished his friend a faithful woman will come on that festival at raising on the green. That means the Lammaside festival is which is covered by the green scenery. That's why he just used the diction green. Now we analyze about the last stanza of this poem. Long for me the dreck will wait, and long will wait the fold. Long will stand the empty plate, and dinner will be cold. In this stanza, the poet used the literary device repetition in the second time. That means the diction reminds us that repetition. Although the speaker is not willing to leave from his village, because he never want to leave from his place, and also the present situation may compel him to leave from his own village. He's highly worried as he has to give up the work in the field. He thinks that the rick will wait for long for him. Rick is something, a stack of hay. That means his harvesting rick will wait for forever. That means that is reminds from the line, long for me the trick will wait. And therefore he thinks that the all of his farm animals will wait for long for him, because fold is something like a sheep variety on that bird. She just think that the animals which used to farming are still wait. And also the plate he used to have dinner will also be empty, and the dinner will be cold without him. Thus, these lines reveal the pathos of the lonely man, his lonely mother, and the once happy domestic life destroyed by narrator's foul deed. In this poem, the poet uses the literary device, imagery, and irony. From this poem, we have a great point that if we going to do something, we have to clarify that incident and we have to do that. Thank you for everybody to listening me in your valuable time.
Thank you for your marvelous presentation, Sumedha. Next, I would like to call Arivasan to talk about farewell to Bar.
Good evening, all of you. I am here to talk about the poem "The Farewell to Barnes Secondary." This poem is written by the famous poet A. Housman. The poem "Farewell to Barnes." The poem "Farewell to Barnes Secondary" is one about two brothers, which one one brother killed his another brother and decided to leave his village or rural setting. The narrator starts this poem with farewelling to did farewell to his rural setting and agriculture background. The diction farewell indicates that leaving from one place or one place. But now we will analyze the first stanza of this poem. Farewell to Barnes Secondary, farewell to Shevenshaw, Terence, look your last at me, for I come home no more. In the first line of this poem, the narrator did farewell to rural setting. From this, we can understand how the narrator like his work and the agricultural background. Farewell to Shevenshaw. Shevenshaw is a river, and the narrator did farewell to the Shevenshaw also. So we can understand that narrator is like that river also. Terence look your last at me, for I come home no more. Here the narrator used the word the name Terence. We can the Terence will be his friend or the listener. Look your last at me, for I come home no more. Here also the narrator did farewell. And next we will analyze the second stanza of this poem. The sun burns on the half moon hill. By now the blood is dried, and more is amongst the hay lies still, and my knife is in his side. The second stanza clears the doubt that the narrator done the murder. The narrator killed his brother Morris, and he still lies among the hay. From the phrase, the sun burns on the half moon hill, we can understand that it is a daytime. Um, the speaker may kill the Morris when mourning the land. The blood of the murdered man is dried. It will be dried because of the hot and burning of the sun. Speaker provides a witness that the murder provides a witness of the murder that his knife is an evidence of the murder of Morris. We can understand that he mm, he killed Morris by stabbing him with the knife when mounting the land. We feel curious for know the reason of killing his brother, and we all like to know who is Morris. The diction blood indicates the tragedy. Tragedy. Mm, then the narrator used semicolon after the diction right. He used semicolon to continue something. Now we will analyze the third stanza of this poem. My mother to a mount. She had two sons at rising day. Tonight she will be alone. In the third stanza of this poem, the narrator thinks about his mother, um, thinks about his mother and worries about his mother. Uh, he told that, and he told that their mother think that they will finish the they at this time they will finish the work. But in the field, the situation is changed. Mm. She had two sons at rising day. Tonight she will be alone. Here also the narrator worries about his mother. He told that his mother has two sons when in the morning, and in night she will alone. And here's a bloody hand to shake, and oh man, here's a goodbye. The diction bloody indicates corrupted. The narrator impli implies his hand as a corrupted hand. Um, here and oh man, here's a goodbye. Here also the narrator did farewell. We'll sweet no more on sky than rake my bloody hands and die. Here the narrator told that they will not work together anymore. The diction kite and rake indicates that he is talking about his work. Kite and rake are used in agriculture. Here the narrator told him as a corrupted man and his hands also. Because he killed his brother and his hand done a murder. And also he also a corrupted man. In the fifth stanza of this poem, the narrator brings a series of wishes to his friend. First wish from the narrator to his friend is have a pride on himself. From this, we can understand that the narrator is on disgrace on himself due to the fratricide. The second wish from the narrator to his friend is have a pure lover to clean him. The implication is to have a pure love without any misunderstanding of faithfulness. This is an evidence that the speaker did not have a faithful lover. The woman who the speaker loved did not faithful for him. Lamarside is a village harvesting festival where the man and woman get together. He wished his friend to have a luck to get a faithful woman in the festival and continue his life surrounded by green scenery, where the speaker lost his luck. Thus, the speaker telling final farewell in the last paragraph. Long for me, the rig will wait. Long will wait the fold, and long will stand the empty plate, and dinner will be called. Um, Long for me, the rig will wait. The rig indicates the agriculture works, and he told that the rig will wait for him when for him. The long will wait the fold, and long will stand the empty plate, and dinner will be cold. The empty plate indicates that he will do not go to his house, um, and the plate will be his plate will be empty. The dinner will be cold. Without him, the dinner will be cold, because the food which has late will be cold. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you.
Thank you for your marvelous presentation, Arivelson. Next, I would like to call Tamiliman to talk about the eagle.
Good evening, all of you. Today I am going to speak about the Eagle, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. He is an English poet. He is Victorian era, which came after Romanticism. He writes the poem "The Eagle." It has 2 stanza and 6 lines. One stanza have 3 lines. The Alfred Lord Tennyson tell about this poem, The Eagle. The Eagle is powerful poem that in this captures, and he used many English techniques and poetic techniques. The poetic techniques are elitarian, majestic, metaphor, simile. Alfred Lord Tennyson taken this line because the eagle is powerful bird that bird in the world. It is king of the bird kingdom. Some countries use their national flag. Now we analyze the poem. First of all, he claps with crook hand. He watches his mountain walls, and he fallen like thunderbolt. There is a simile that is like the thunderbolt. Thunderbolts means the eagle fly. Suddenly he fly. He saw a prey to catch them, so he fly too fast. Eagle have sharp eyes, sharp beaks, so they have powerful talent to catch the prey. So the eagle is come fastly to catch the prey. But we understand this line. He crawls as the bring sea crawls. The bring sea crawls under the eagle because the sea is moved slow. It means waves. So the eagle is powerful bird in the captures. The poem gives visual imagery for us and show a vivid picture of in this poem for the readers.
Thank you, Tamilman, for your marvelous presentation. Thank